Welcome to this demonstration of how to use the Disability Resources Instructor portal. The demo is divided into chapters so you can access the information you need efficiently. Using the Instructor portal, faculty can view student accommodations, complete the form that Disability Resources needs in order to proctor exams for your students with testing accommodations, upload exams to be administered by our office, set parameters for flexibility on assignments, attendance, or participation for students that have flexibility-related accommodations, and much more. Viewing accommodations. The link to the Instructor portal is included in the Summary of Accommodations memorandum that you will receive when the student requests to use their accommodations in your class. When you first log in, review the FERPA policy and click Continue to view student accommodations. You will then land on the dashboard. For the purposes of this demo, we're going to be using a fake instructor, Henry Frick. As soon as Henry logs in, he can see a list of all the students who have accommodations in his class and a quick snapshot of their accommodations. You can view the Summary of Accommodations memorandum for each student or generate a PDF. Entering the Alternative Testing Instructions form. If you would like for the Office of Disability Resources to proctor exams for students with testing accommodations, we will need you to complete the Alternative Testing Instructions form before we can schedule any of your students to take exams with us. This form gives us the important information we need in order to proctor it to your specifications. You can get to the form directly by clicking the link that is provided in the student's Summary of Accommodations memorandum. But in case you don't have that link handy, you can also get to it through the Instructor portal. First, click on Alternative Testing. Then look for the heading called Alternative Testing Instructions Form and click the link Courses Without Alternative Testing Instructions Form. Next, click the link to enter the form for a specific class. On this next page, under the header Available Options for the course, be sure to select I will need disability resources to proctor some or all exams for students with accommodations. Then click Confirm to proceed and submit your selection. On the next page, complete all the questions, providing as much detail as possible. Be sure to provide a contact method where you or a designee can be easily reached during exams in case questions come up. If you have any specifications that are not covered by the questions asked on the form, indicate these under Additional Instructor Comments or Instructions. Once all the fields are completed, click Update and view exam dates. On this screen, enter all the dates when you plan to give exams and quizzes. Don't worry if your dates might change. You can always go back and update them later. Enter the type of exam, date, start time, and exam length. Enter the standard exam length that will be allotted for students without accommodations. Our system will adjust the length to account for students with additional exam time. Enter your preferences about when students can take your exam and fill out any additional information unique to that particular exam date. If your exam or quiz has already been written, you can upload it directly on this screen by entering the name of the exam and browsing to find the file on your computer. But if you don't have the exam ready yet, you can add it at a later date. Click Save Exam Date to save your information. You can repeat this process to add as many exam or quiz dates as needed. Copying alternative testing instructions across multiple sections. If you teach several sections of the same class and would like us to use the same testing instructions for all sections, you can copy the form to some or all sections that you teach. Once you have the form open, click Copy Alternative Testing Instructions Form. On this next screen, from the drop-down menu, select which course section you want to copy the form to and click Continue. On the next page, you will see exam dates and times that you already entered for the original section. If students in the two sections are taking exams at the same time, you can leave this data as is. But if the two sections are taking exams on different dates or start times, make any changes needed for the date and time information listed. Check the box if you would like to use the same exam file across the two sections, or uncheck the box if you plan to use different exam versions in each section of your course. After making all needed changes, click Copy Alternative Testing Instructions form. Modifying alternative testing instructions. Periodically, you may need to update the alternative testing instructions, such as to add exam dates, change which materials are allowed on exams, or update your contact information. From the Instructor portal, click on Alternative Testing. Then, under the heading Alternative Testing Instructions form, click the link to show the alternative testing instructions form you already entered. Locate the form for the course or section in question and click View/Modify. Make any changes needed, either to the question responses or exam dates. If you have previously copied the alternative testing instructions form to other sections of the course and want to make changes to all sections, you will need to update the forms for these sections manually. Uploading exams. We ask all instructors to upload exams we will be proctoring using the Instructor portal. This is much easier for us than if you email us the exam. From the main dashboard screen, click Alternative Testing, then navigate to the Upcoming Exams heading. Expand the File Upload panel and browse for the file you want to upload. Once you have located the file, select the checkboxes by all exams where you would like that file to be used. You can use one file for all students, or you may upload different files for each student. Click Upload File. You will then be able to view the file within the list of exams. If you have more than one file for an exam, such as one file for the exam and another for an approved formula sheet, you can upload more than one file. Just be sure to select all the exams each file applies to. If you need to replace an exam file with an updated one, first delete the incorrect exam file by clicking View File and then Delete. Click the Confirm button to delete the file, then upload your corrected version. Proposing flexibility. In the latest version of our AIM software, instructors are now able to set parameters for flexibility accommodations through the Instructor portal. This applies to accommodations related to flexibility on assignment due dates, attendance, or class participation. In the past, these flexibility agreements were only available from the student side of the portal, but now instructors can enter the amount of flexibility they propose, and it will be sent to disability resources and the student for review. This saves time and increases communication between you, our office, and the student. You can access the flexibility agreement forms through the link included in the student's Summary of Accommodations memorandum. But if you don't have that link handy, you can also get to it through the Instructor portal. From the Instructor dashboard, click on Flex Plan. On the next screen, you will see a table listing all flexibility agreements called Flex Plans that are in process. The table shows the course, the student, the specific accommodation, and where the Flex Plan is in the review process. If it shows as not initiated, that means that you as the instructor need to take the first step and propose flexibility. It's important to remember that the amount of flexibility you can offer should be based on the structure of the course, not the needs of a specific student. We encourage instructors to offer all students with a given flexibility accommodation the same amount of flexibility to ensure equity and to discourage discussions between professors and students about specific disability issues. So unless there is a very unique situation, the student's specific disability should not be taken into account when proposing flexibility. Rather, base your proposed flexibility on the nature of your course and what students will need to do in order to demonstrate mastery of core learning objectives. So let's get started proposing some flexibility. Click on the link in the row for the student and accommodation where you want to enter the Flex Plan agreement and answer the questions. Remember that the more specific you are, the easier it is to work through any issues that may arise later. You may wish to upload your course syllabus, which you can do directly from the Flex Plan form. Uploading your syllabus is especially helpful if reading it would be instructive to disabilities resources staff when we review your proposed flexibility. Once you upload your syllabus, close the syllabus review window to return to the Flex Plan form. Before submitting the form, select whether you want to copy it to other requests in that same course or to requests in all your courses. For example, if you want to allow all students with flexible attendance accommodations to have 2 additional absences across all your courses, you would select Copy to Other Requests in My Courses. Then check the box indicating you will abide by the agreement and click Initiate and Request Review. This will send your completed form to the student's primary contact at Disability Resources for a brief review. If any questions arise, we will contact you. Otherwise, we will send the agreement on to the student for review. The student can then request changes, or they can accept the agreement as is. If the student requests changes, you will receive an email and will be able to go in and review their proposed amendments. If additional students request that same flexibility accommodation later in the semester and you wish to use the same flexibility agreement you entered previously, you can copy it over to the new requests as well. Simply open the Flex Plan agreement for the student whom you originally completed the form and select from the drop-down to copy the plan for other students in that course or to students in all your courses. If you need any assistance in creating or implementing a flexibility agreement, please contact Disability Resources. We are more than happy to answer questions and get creative to find solutions. Thanks for watching.